In Matthew chapter 7, from verse 15 onwards, there's a scripture that is, I believe, very appropriate for the time that we live in. Very appropriate. When I come to the United States, then I find that the United States is called the first world country. And I find that the church is in a certain condition. And I go to South Africa. South Africa is very strange. Partly it is a first world and partly it's a third world country. And I find that there also the church is moving into another direction. In the first world countries, it seems to me, the church has settled for bless me now kind of clubs. Motivational messages. Where we are pat on our back and everything is fine. And we receive prophecies. If we receive prophecies, that just comforts us. And in Africa, the pendulum is on the other side, where everyone wants to go after signs, after things happening, manifestations. And doesn't matter how they get it, they want it. I know of some people, I don't know them personally, but this is what, if you look at what's happening, that things are happening, but you wonder, where does that power come from? Who's the author of that power? Now, with this in mind, I read in Matthew chapter 7, from verse 15. Jesus speaks, he says, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, and in your name have cast out devils, and in your name done wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. I felt it is most probably a good idea that I read the scripture. And you will find, what does that to do with a shepherd? But this is what Jesus says, beware of false prophets. They come looking like sheep, sounds like sheep, but they are destroying wolves. And then how do we know them? We know them by their fruit. Know them by the things they do. I have come to the conclusion that you can listen to some people speaking and you don't know where they stand, what they believe. But when you look at their actions, you can see where they come from. It's not what a person says, it's what a person does. It's not what we say people must do, but it's how we live our lives. And I want to leave this with you as a church. Look at what they do. I've listened to some people that can preach powerful sermons, and everything is in the Word. But when you begin to look at their actions, you find there's something seriously wrong. And this is what Jesus says. Look at their fruit. And then listen to this. And just see where we are today. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, In your name have we cast, in your name we did prophesy. How can you prophesy in the name of the Lord and still be wrong? Your lifestyle. I'm throwing this out for us as a church to think about it. He says, they will say, have we not prophesied in your name? That tells me they are prophesying. And what they prophesy might be true. And they are doing it in the name of the Lord. He says further, in your name have we not cast out devils? And in your name done many wonderful works. They will say all of this. Then the Lord will say, I never knew you. You workers of iniquity.